A lot of us were introduced to the draft because of guys like Todd McShay. He is the ESPN poster boy when it comes to the NFL mock draft. And we're going to take a look at his too early 2022 NFL mock draft. And we're going to mock it. What's crack-a-lacking? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. And this is the mock where we take someone else's mock draft and I give you my opinions on it. I think it's very important to look at other people's opinions, evaluations, and just perspectives because it opens up our mind to these evals, to the different possibilities that could happen in the draft. I know this is an early look at the 2022 draft, so it's pretty hard to maybe mock it, but hey, we're going to have fun with it. So let's go ahead. Let's dive into our boy Todd's mock draft here. He used Vegas betting odds, so no hate on the draft order. I did the same thing. We're going to focus on the picks, why he's high on these guys. So there's that good-looking man right there, man. Him and Mel Kiper were guys that really got me into the draft, man. And, over the years, I've tended to disagree with them a bit, but still, I hold them in high regard because, dude, they are experts at their craft, and you're not going to get it right all the time. But let's go ahead. And let's take a gander at pick 1, Houston Texans. And this is probably going to be I will mock this. Ain't no way the Texans, if they're picking first overall, don't go quarterback unless the quarterbacks are utterly terrible. Ain't no way. And that is not an indictment on Kayvon Thibodeau because he is fabulous. He is worthy of the first overall pick, man. This guy is good. But if you're the Houston Texans, everything going on with Deshaun, it's kind of in disarray. Davis Mills, you might be like, what's up with Davis Mills, though? They just drafted him. He's a third-round pick. I know he's got some upside to him, but there ain't no way he compares to the first overall pick if the quarterbacks are good in this class, and I believe at least 3 of them will be. You go quarterback. It's the most valuable position on the team, on the roster. It literally is the reason why some guys have and don't have jobs. You go quarterback. Unless, again, like I said, unless it's god-awful, which I don't think this class will be. So that's probably as hard take I'm going to take in this mock draft. But I really do love Thibodeau. Detroit Lions go Keaton Slovis. I'm just going to say this one's interesting. Detroit, hey, no problem. You're picking 2 overall. Go quarterback. Slovis, though, being the first quarterback off the board is very interesting to me. I kind of have him as a mid to late first rounder. He doesn't have the arm talent, I think, of Sam Rattler. Not even I said Sam Rattler. Spencer Rattler or Sam Howell. He doesn't have that strong of arm by comparison to guys like Howell, Rattler, and even Malik Willis. What he is, though, he is extremely accurate. Last year was a bit of a weird year for him, and I'm hoping he doesn't. He could take this Brock Purdy type of drop-off. I don't think he will. Just saying it can happen. I'm just interested that Mel has him as the top quarterback currently on his board. At least I'm assuming it's the top quarterback on his board. But I don't fault the pick at quarterback. If you're picking in the top 5, you should probably consider quarterback. Jacksonville Jaguars go Derek Stingley. He will be everyone's top corner for now, but I think this corner class is looking pretty deep. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, Jags, they did go Tyson Campbell, but second rounder is what it is. Sounds like they're going to try to get him to learn slot. Stingley's just, again, Stingley's amazing. The corner position is vital. Might be the most important position currently on defense in the NFL. If you're not good at corner, you need to have at least 4 good guys there on corner if you're going to compete. Or at least you're going to be consistently good in pass coverage just because the cornerback position is so volatile. They also brought in Shaquille Griffin. They brought back Sidney Jones, who was actually pretty good down the stretch for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But Stingley, he is a top 5 pick currently. I know it was kind of a sophomore slump for him. He was also dealing with an injury last season. I expect him to be much better. So, yeah, I'm not going to fault that too much. This one's interesting. The Jets, not mainly because of or what they picked, but who they picked. Charles Cross. I understand that some people maybe have Cross as a first rounder because he really turned it on like late down the stretch there. He's playing in the SEC. It is the toughest division toughest conference in football. But I don't think he's a top tackle. For me, this is kind of a weak tackle class going into it initially. I think it can get better with a full season next year. But Cross, I don't see it just yet. Or at least this early. Top 5? Heck nah, man. Heck nah. I don't think so. And I probably have 3 other guys that I will put ahead of him currently right now. But yeah, I just find that interesting that a lot of people are high on Cross. But I don't fault you if you have him in the first round. He's kind of fringe first round for me right now. But again, another year of play, it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Cincinnati Bengals go Zion Nelson. I'm a Hurricanes fan. I'm just going to preface it with that because I'm going to bang on some Hurricane guys, unfortunately. I don't know why I worded it that way. I'm going to be down on some of the Hurricane guys, unfortunately. I rep the U through and through, but Nelson, I like his athleticism, but he hasn't exactly dominated there in the ACC. He's solid. I don't know if he's first round solid. I'm gonna do a lot more film study this summer, so maybe I'll be higher on him at the end of the summer, but I don't think he's top 5. He's fringe first round at best at this point. But let's keep it going. Panthers, they going Kyle Hamilton. Hamilton's amazing. He's a top 10 pick through and through. The dude moves differently. I mean, he's 6'4", but he's like 221. Like, it's insane his coverage ability. He was much better in run defense this past season. So, I don't fault it. If you're Carolina, though, you got to imagine you're picking 6th. And you don't go quarterback? Like, Sam Darnold must have failed. I think you have to go quarterback. Even Todd comes up and says, "Oh, maybe they could go Sam Howell," which would be where you could say Spencer Rattler as well. But I'm surprised he's not that high on who I presume to be the top 2 quarterbacks, Howell and Rattler. Surprised he has Slovis number 1. And then there goes Sam Howell to the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, it's going to be a 1-year prove it type of year for him. If they're picking in the top 10, they should be going quarterback. They should understand Hurts ain't the guy. If Howell's there, dude, that's great, man. Dude's stupid strong arm, and we're going to get to see what he can do with a lot less talent around him. He's going to bring back a veteran offensive line, but he's missing guys like De'Ami Brown, Daz Newsome, Michael Carter, Javonte Williams. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. But I think Sam Howell definitely will probably be a top 10 pick. And right now, for me, he is currently the number 2 quarterback in this class. So, yeah, no, totally makes sense. This one does not, actually, because Adrian Hutchinson, listen, for the Giants, if you're the Giants, you move on from Danny Dimes. If this is your pick, you're picking the top 10, Spencer Rattler's on the board, move on. Danny Dimes, he ain't worth nickels and pennies anymore. Like, get your franchise quarterback, or else you're going to fall into this Mitch Trubisky, like, spiral of just being mediocre year in and year out. Aiden Hutchinson's interesting because, I mean, given last year, yeah, I know he dealt with the injury, but even before that, like, his skill set, like, it translates, don't get me wrong, it translates in the NFL. Like, what he does translates to success. Like, he's going to find a role in the NFL. It's just, you don't see that skill set often, like, highly valued or highly sought out. Typically, guys like him fall to the second, third round. He's not exactly he's more of an edge setter than a guy that actually bends the edge. So it'll be interesting to see where he falls. I'm just surprised Todd's so high on him. Walter Football is too, and hey, man, I'll clown him for that too. But it's not like I don't like Hutchinson. It's just you got to understand the value of guys like that in the draft. And then back-to-back picks here for the Giants. Whose pick would this be then? Via Chicago. That's right. Maybe I should look here instead of trying to guess. Evan Neal. I'm going to list Evan Neal in my tackle rankings, but I'm with Todd on this. He might end up just being a guard. Dude's huge, and he's held up pretty well there at right tackle. I think he moves to left this year. It'll be interesting to see how he does, man. Will he be athletic enough to actually seal up the edge, or will he have to move into guard? It kind of makes a big difference when you're drafting. But he was phenomenal. It'd be interesting to see. He is a first-round caliber talent, so no fault in it. The pick here, it's just kind of like a wait and see, you know. We got a couple of guys, and one guy who is actually, I don't even think he's on Todd's mock draft, Kenyon Green, Texas A&M. He's moving from left guard to left tackle. I think it's left guard, but he's moving to left tackle. That'll be interesting. I'm not going to lie, man. Spoiler alert for my tackle rankings. Those are like the top two guys on my tackle rankings currently. Like, yeah. I mean, there's another guy that's kind of in the mix here. That I'll bring him up later if any other tackle guys come off the board, who I think he definitely deserves some clout. But yeah, for me, there's like three guys that I'm like pretty sure in terms of like the tackle class that are going to be first rounders. It's just two of them being Green and Neal. I feel like might end up being guards if things don't go well this year outside. Let's go at 10. Kier Elm. I got Elam. I really got to learn how to say his first name. Apparently his last name too. But dude, man, Florida, they bring out stupid good athletes there at corner. This year's a bit of the same. Vegas, honestly, if Spencer Rattler's still on the board and I'm Vegas, I'm taking Spencer Rattler. Like Derek Carr's like, he like every blue moon, he's like a top 15 quarterback. It's just unfortunate that it's every blue moon. Like he's adequate, but you can upgrade from that. Like Vegas, you deserve better. And if Rattler's on the board, I'm taking Rattler. And I'm surprised Rattler didn't make the top 10 here for Todd, but is what it is. Elam is a really good prospect. This is in a loaded corner class. He's like, maybe after Stanley, he's like 2 or 3. It's a good corner class. And then here's Spencer Rattler going off the board. I'm just going to say this. Like Broncos, yes, get a quarterback. If you can't get Rod or Ron, like, what you doing? Like, you probably should have took Justin Fields' past draft, but if you could get Rattler, cool. Good for you guys, because Drew Lock ain't the answer. That's my opinion, but I feel like there's a lot of facts to back that up. But dude, I just don't get it. If the Broncos are willing to take Rattler at 11, why aren't the Raiders willing to take him at 10? Then again, the Raiders do make a lot of questionable picks, so maybe I'm not surprised. Rattler's phenomenal. He just needs to show consistency. I thought he got better down the stretch, or at least he showed a bit more consistency down the stretch. He made a lot less mistakes, a lot less turnover-worthy throws. So it'll be nice to see him in a year 2 as a full-time starter. Atlanta Falcons go Chris Olave. Chris Olave really had nothing to gain by coming back. In my opinion, I think he's going to be a mid to late first rounder regardless. I don't think he's the best receiver in this class, but it's not a great receiving class currently. There's a lot of guys that have potential, but they have small sample sizes. For Olave, I think he just has everything to lose. You're not going to move yourself into like the top 10. Like, I don't think there's a top 10 receiver in this class. It's just my opinion, though. I don't even think he's the best receiver on his roster. We'll get to him in a minute. I imagine he's going to be on Todd's mock draft. And then George Karlaftis out of Purdue going to the Vikings. They get a power rusher, finally. Karlaftis is good, man, dude. I'm going to call him George because I know I'm butchering that last name. I like him. It's just I'm intrigued. He is a power rusher through and through that can kick it to the interior. It's just I'm curious, which way will he go? Will he put on weight and try to be an interior guy, or will he try to stay as a Because, like, honestly, this past season, granted, he didn't play all of this year, and it was a shortened year because of the Big Ten starting late. He didn't look great. He looked more like an edge setter rather than a actual edge bender. So if he could return to his freshman form, then hey man, I might be back down with our boy George here. But he's kind of fringe first rounder, like very unique skill set for a guy like this. And then this one's interesting for me. Sevyn Banks out of Ohio State. Cardinals, yeah, dude. Keep addressing corner until you get it right. You're hoping at least one of those guys between Tay Gowan and Marco Wilson works out. If both of them do, that's great. You're probably, hopefully, at least looking at one, though. But Banks, I get it. Great size, length, speed. Todd, he lists out right there. The thing is, he played very poorly last year. Production should mean something. So this might be Todd just projecting. So I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that one, which a lot of these I will give the benefit of the doubt. It's very early in the evaluation process. But, I mean, he was really bad. So you're really banking on those traits really shining in next season. So we'll see. Then Malik Willis, man, I forgot he was even still on the board. So this is the thing. This is a lot of people are going to make the comparisons. This is this year's Trey Lance just because of where they play. But there's a big difference between Trey Lance and Malik Willis. Yes, both have cannons for arms. Both have tremendous running upside. Both play at reasonably smaller schools. The difference is Trey Lance didn't get any D1 offers, at least to play quarterback. Malik Willis was recruited by Auburn. Power 5, SEC. Couldn't beat Bo Nix. Yes, that's a little worrisome. Ended up transferring to Liberty, but he's looked a lot better than Bo Nix. So, yes, there's some comparisons, but there's a big difference in the pedigree of talent. Not to say that Trey Lance doesn't have that pedigree. Like, he has a ridiculous upside in his own right. But I think Malik Willis, when we get closer to the draft, man, he will be a top 10 guy. So we'll see. But yes, Washington, yes, they should go quarterback. Same with Pittsburgh. They should go quarterback. Big Ben, man, he ain't getting younger. He might be clocking out after this season. Desmond Ridder is an interesting case here, though. I don't know what I really didn't see much for him to gain by returning. Like, what's going to happen in another banger year there at Cincinnati? What's going to change? What's going to make you a first-round, draft pick? I think he's got a strong arm. I don't know. I don't necessarily think he has an accurate arm. I don't think he's got great ball placement. I should put it that way. It's not like he's super inaccurate. I guess he could touch up on those things, but still, unfortunately, because of where he plays, it's not like he's going to see a lot of top competition. It's not like the playoff committee is going to be letting Cincinnati into the playoffs anytime soon unless they expand the playoffs, which is unfortunate. I thought they totally deserved it last year, but I just don't know what will change. I have him as a day 2 guy. I get it. The athletic upside's nice, but he doesn't play in a very pro-style offense there. A lot of RPOs. So there is that. I don't know. We'll see. I know a lot of people love Ridder, love him as a first rounder. I'm not there yet. I don't know what will exactly change my mind, though, with one more year at Cincinnati. And then this is Philadelphia's pick courtesy of the Dolphins. You're welcome. I'm a Fins fan. I like this. Me and Todd are kind of in the same wheelhouse when it comes to how high we are on Isaac Taylor Stewart. And now let me tell you why we should be a bit hesitant. Because the dude's got great size, good speed, very great short area quickness. Like, he just kind of you feel elite potential cover 3, press zone type of corner that can probably maybe play man just because, again, the athletic traits are there. The thing is, he didn't get a lot of reps last year, unfortunately. Starting reps there at USC. They sprinkled it in later in the year, but it's not like he took a big leap in coverage. Last year was stupid weird. I'm hoping he'll get more with now that Elijah Griffin is now gone. It was Griffin and Steele were kind of the starters there, so I'm kind of hoping for that. Maybe we'll see more of Taylor Stewart. Maybe he emerges as a first-round talent. We'll see. Again, this is a projection on Todd's part. Projection on my part, too. I was pretty high on him. Actually, he was in my way too early 2021, I think. No, I think I did even a... Did I? I don't know. I know in one of my mock drafts, I put him like top 15. And it just looked foolish last year. So we'll see. We'll see. And then the Chargers, they go DeMarvin Leal. I'm a big fan of DeMarvin here, dude. He's he plays edge there, kicks in time and time again, but he's 290 and he moves pretty darn special. Like, I think he could be top 10. I'm a big Leal fan. There's a lot of Texas A&M prospects I like this year. And then George Pickens going to the Saints. I'm not a big fan of Pickens. I'm just going to be straight up with that. There's character concerns. Obviously, the injury concern. I think he'll return a lot faster than... Well, I mean, 6 months. I think we'll see him maybe in the middle of the season. But coming off the ACL tear, you're kind of concerned about the injuries. And he's just a contested catch guy. Let's be honest. He doesn't separate well. He's got a lot of highlight catches. He's a very good contested catch guy. But we saw it this past year. The NFL is moving more away from those contested catch guys. And they're looking for guys that can separate. I just think that's a problem with Pickens. And I feel better about him on day 2 than I do in the first round. I know there's a lot of people that love Pickens, but... I'm sorry, man. I'm not there. And then Bubba Bolden going to the Eagles. Remember, I'm a Dolphins fan. So this is the Colts pick. It's going to happen. Sorry, Colts fans. Sorry, Colts fans. You're not getting this pick back. Unless Carson Wentz gets hurt, you're not getting this pick. But Bubba Bolden, I get it. Ideal size, great athletic and physical profile. He was a starter, first-time starter last year. And it was bad. It went bad. Here. Quick little preview to my safety rankings. Let's see. Missed 18% of his attempted tackles last season. No big plays in coverage. And was actually responsible for a lot of blown coverage. He wasn't good last year, guys. This is a projection. You're like a guy with his profile, like he's probably day 2. I don't know if he keeps blowing coverages, he might end up day 3. And I know y'all are like some of y'all will be flabbergasted by that, but you can't tell me he played well last year. Like, there were like sprinkles of brilliance, but there was a lot of bad play. I think we could agree to that. Dallas Cowboys go Jalen Wademeyer. He's great, dude. He's a very good prospect. I don't know if he's a first-round worthy tight end. We'll see this year, but I get it, man. Stupid athletic. Like, honestly, if you're willing to put Pat Freiermuth in the first round, which a lot of us did in our early rankings, I think Wademeyer should be there. Dude is excellent. Dallas getting a tight end, though. That's kind of interesting. Their defense kind of sucks. Tennessee tight ends go John Mechie III. I'm not there in terms of him being a first rounder yet. I think the receiving class overall is pretty underwhelming compared to the last couple of seasons, but he stepped up big when Jalen Waddle went down. I just kind of want to see it again this year. Rinse and repeat, and then I'll throw you in the first round. That's really my take. So I don't fault anybody that considers him a first rounder. I just kind of want to see it again. And then the Patriots, they go Garrett Wilson. I love Wilson, and I think he's a better prospect than Olave. They're both very good route runners. I think they're very good separators. So would have thought Ohio State, they kind of breed receivers to be that way. I mean, we've seen it with Terry McLaurin, Harris Campbell, whenever he gets a chance to actually get on the field. But their guys are just built that way, man. I'm a big fan of his game. I think he's a bigger play threat than Olave. I think he's better after the catch. So they're very close, though. They're very close. Like, Olave is literally 2 on my wide receiver ranking. So don't look too hard into it. Him and Wilson, they're both good prospects. And then the Miami Dolphins, we get a pick finally. This is from San Fran. All right, so Nick, was it Broeker? Regardless, I'm not high on. This cat was not that good last year for Ole Miss. He might make a take a big leap forward, maybe I need to watch more Ole Miss. Well, when it comes to the offensive line, but what I watched, because I watched a lot of Royce Newman last season. I don't think our boy Nick here is that much better. A guy I was kind of alluding to earlier was Washington offensive tackle Jackson Kirkland, who has been very good the last couple of last 2 seasons. This past season of the year before, he deserves a little bit more clout right now. He's the only other guy I feel good about at the tackle position in the first round. I'm just surprised here, Nick, who hasn't really shined that much. I'll just put it that way. The Jets, they're going Zach Harrison. I will admit I'm a little higher on Harrison than myself. And his teammate might end up like Tyreek Smith if he gets a bigger workload, might come out and be a better prospect than him. Regardless, Ohio State, they breed apparently very good offensive edge rushers. That's just what they do. Harrison, I like him a lot. I might be a bit higher on him than other people, but yeah, I don't fault the Jets. They need to get someone across from Carl Lawson there. The Ravens, okay, we're back to the offensive tackle class. Walker, I would say, is better than Nick. Like, Walker, I think, has some upside to him. We saw a bit more consistency, and I want to see last season, but I want to now see it over a full season, not the whole, it was like 6 games we saw last year. So Walker, I think I kind of have as a fringe first rounder anyway. I just kind of want to see more of him. So yeah, we'll see it this year. But yeah, they should probably get a right tackle. They brought in Alejandro Villanueva, but he's just not their type of tackle. Drake Jackson, ton of upside. I see why a lot of people like him. I just want to see him put it together in this next season. We saw glimpses of it through I think it was 6 games they played last year there at the Pac-12. I think we'll see him truly break out this season. He will come out and be like, this isn't even my final form type of breakout. Drake Jackson, I get why a lot of people are high on him. I'm just going to reserve judgment until we see the actual breakout. And then Mike Jones, I'm really high on Mike Jones. Going to Detroit here, yeah, their linebacker room actually sucks a lot. I'm a big fan of Mike Jones. And now that he moved there to LSU, because he was playing more of a safety role there at Clemson, I want to see him improve in the run. He might end up playing the Jabril Cox role last year, just because he wasn't that good against the run. Mike Jones, that was. Well, neither was Jabril. But it'll be interesting. I love what he does in coverage, though. The thing is, he is phenomenal in coverage. I don't think the Isaiah Simmons comparisons are warranted. While Jones, I like him a lot. I don't think he's necessarily on that level just yet, but we'll see. But get familiar with the name Mike Jones. Green Bay Packers go Christian Harris. A lot of people love Christian Harris. I get it. He's stupid athletic for a linebacker. So was Dylan Moses. And guess what? Both of them last year kind of sucked. No one will say that, man. Harris is fantastic. He played bad, dude. He was a liability in coverage. Big liability, man. Unless we see a significant, jump in production, I don't think he's going to be a first rounder. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say it here. You heard it first here. I don't love him. And if he plays bad again, he ain't even going to be a day 2 guy. Josh Joby, I'm not there yet with Joby. He's not Patrick Surtain. He reminds me more of Trevon Diggs than Surtain. Diggs ended up going in the 2nd round. I feel better about Joby there. Yes, we're going to ask questions about his speed like we do every other Alabama corner. And he'll come out and be probably a 4.5, maybe 4.9, 4.49 guy. But, yeah, I just think there's better cornerback talent. You got Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati, Martin Emerson out of Mississippi State. I just think there's better talent. Trent McDuffie out of Washington. I just think there's better guys. Then Isaiah Spiller. I'm not going to lie, dude. I know I already put out my running back rankings. Going back over this, man, I think Isaiah Spiller is the top back in this class. I had Breece Hall there for a minute, but Isaiah Spiller, man, he's just different, dude. He's just different. I'm starting to fall in love with him a little bit. But then again, running backs, they probably shouldn't go in the first round unless they're extraordinary. Spiller is not on that level yet. So he needs to do more in the passing game. But I understand. You want to flex at least one running back in a mock. And I get it. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it to the Bucs, who have everything. And then the final pick here to the Chiefs, Xavier Thomas. Xavier Thomas is going to need a banger year. Like, he had a significant drop-off after his freshman season. And then he didn't look any better last year. Granted, he got a late start because he tested, I think he tested positive early from the Rona. And then he ended up getting sick right after he got over the Rona. And, it was weird, dude. It was weird where he was battling just to try to get back and healthy again. But the thing is, Clemson, they kind of play him out of place. He doesn't really get a chance to, play on the outside of the tackle. He's either playing right over him or on the inside of the tackles. He doesn't get an opportunity to bend the edge. He's not going to have high sack numbers that way. They run that 3-1-4, so they only have 3D linemen. It's why you kind of saw a mass exodus last year of a lot of their defensive interior guys, what was it, Niles Pickney and who's the cat that went to Virginia Tech? I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, that's why we kind of saw a mass exodus of Clemson defensive linemen. Even you could say Mike Jones, man, because they're not playing in spots that they want to play in, that they know that they could get highly drafted at. Or they're just not getting the playing time. Thomas, I just don't think he's in a good situation to really improve his draft grade there at Clemson, unfortunately. Yeah, I won't even consider him a first rounder. He might be late day 2, third round. But I get it. He's a former 5-star, good upside for his size. I just think there's other edge talent you probably could have showcased here. So, it is what it is. Overall, this is me just giving you my thoughts on what Todd thinks of these guys. And that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. And until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.